Ultimates, welcome back.
Today we're going to be doing Danganronpa 2, but with a spinner. Basically, this is going to be the sequel to the original first one I did that was requested for a second one. A comment will be right here. I look forward to seeing what kind of situation we find ourselves in and how I can rewrite it. Where I was going to start off with by just clicking spin. Our protagonist will be Ibuki Miyota. Okay. Who will be the first person I wake up to see? Who will be the person Ibuki wakes up to see on the beach? Mikan. Okay. This is the girl power team right now. Ibuki and Mikan. So Mikan will fill in for Nagito on the beach. Instead of Nagito's face, you'll see Mikan worrying, taking care of you. Okay, makes sense, being the nurse and all. So first motives revealed.
It's regaining your lost memory inside world, your family, your friends, everyone around you.
Who will be committing the first murder? Who's going to be getting killed? Who's going to be getting got right away in chapter 1? Our chapter 1 killer is
Byakuya Togami, the ultimate imposter. Byakuya, being the ultimate imposter, finding out his memories were removed, find out who he truly is, what his identity is, why he's doing this. Does he have friends? Does he have family? Kind of like a Ryoma situation, but in Byakuya's situation, or the ultimate imposter situation, does he even exist in the real world? Is there anything to even go back to?
And then with his night vision goggles on and starts stabbing people. And when you wake up with the lights back on and there's a dead person in the middle of the hallway in front of the dining room. Everybody's all around, right? So I'm thinking that's the way this is going to happen, is that Byakuya will just kind of kill somebody in the darkness with his night vision goggles. Who does Byakuya kill? Mahiru. Oh, it hurts. Mahiru can't ever get past the early part of the game. So Mahiru's at the party, just getting drinks, having fun, taking everybody's pictures. This could make a lot of sense because Mahiru would kind of have some death flags, and so she's at the party, taking pictures of everyone before she dies, hanging out with everybody. Maybe in the darkness, she grabs her camera, panicking, and takes a picture, and it happens to have Byakuya coming at her with a knife. And Byakuya is forced to finish her off by killing her right there and then, just stabbing her, right? Or murdering her with his tools. And then Byakuya could maybe even go so far as to take the camera itself with the evidence and hide it in the Duralumin case, or whatever that stupid metal is called. I think it's Duralumin. Hide in the Duralumin case. After hiding the evidence in the Duralumin case, he would basically say that he lost the key and he can't access it. So basically the trial, instead of meat on the bone, will be going with a key for the Duralumin case, and then inside you'd find Mahiru's belongings, i.e. her camera. Chapter 2, this is where the game motive was supplied. The murder in the game motive, this chapter. Oh no. Ibuki Miyota, our main character? Why? Damn, I was just getting attached to the idea of being all bubbly happy. Ibuki Miyota will probably be around the pictures in the game. So who does she kill? Nekomaru Nidai. Oh no. Video game motives provided, right? Provides evidence of their time at Hope's Peak Academy. Ibuki goes full off the rails, right? You know, Nekomaru's the ultimate team leader. He's not really leading the team. It's aura about him that's kind of hard to trust. Basically, in the photos, she's seeing everybody in the class kind of similar to the original Danganronpa 1 classmates photos. But maybe Nekomaru is kept away from the photo, right? So Ibuki's implied to almost pull a Kaede, thinking, okay, Nekomaru's not in these photos, so she'll confront Nekomaru about it. Nekomaru won't understand what's happening. Long story short, he'd kill him. Here's a unique idea, like Dead Rising kind of gamer logic right here. A guitar, Ibuki loves guitar, and flamethrower to burn the dust. There's no evidence, right? And this is what would occur in the kind of beach. There's just a pile of dust on the floor, and everybody comes in to kind of step in the dust. And it's just what Nekomaru used to be, just literally dust on the floor. Flamethrower on the guitar. Otherwise, go even further, maybe going as far as to frame someone else. So maybe taking Pekko's sword, taking Peko Yama's sword, attaching onto the car, basically charging at Nekomaru when he's not suspecting it, stabbing him through the heart, killing him instantly on the spot. We have to roll for a new character, because our main character has been tricked to murder or kill people. Alright, we're gonna roll for a brand new character. Who is our new protagonist? Hiyoko Sayonji. I actually dislike Hiyoko quite a lot. Hiyoko Sayonji. Alright. Basically, after that, we see Hiyoko's kind of crying, or people that she's getting close to getting murdered, right? Gets close to Hiru, and Mahiro dies chapter 1. Gets close to Ibuki, the main character, a little bit. They start hanging out, a little girl time, hanging out at the beach.
Ibuki dies.
Tragic. Hiyoko's have to, like, suck it up, brave up, even though she talks a lot of trash, has a sense of justice of, like, almost self-righteous in her pursuit of living and not being killed. Technically, in the second game, she wasn't even supposed to die. She was supposed to make it all the way to the end originally, which is kind of a cool fact. The new protagonist. Chapter 3. And this one will be 2 kills.
This is the sickness chapter.
Well, before we do anything with the sickness chapter, I want to roll to see who gets sick. 3 names for who would be getting sick this chapter. There are people who would be getting the despair sickness. Okay. So the doctor, Mikan Sumiki, gets the despair disease.
Maybe her thing is that she actually remembers, like in the base game, she remembers who she actually is.
Right away committing a murder. Maybe she wants to
Hold out till the end or kind of betray people.
a long actor in the game. Her thing is kind of remembering, but she also kind of has this, her whole personality kind of changes. She becomes kind of more
wimpy and kind of
yelly and naggy and kind of off the deep end. To the point where everybody kind of ostracized, thinking it's like Nagito, where
Nagito was saying crazy crap.
Mikan starts just going off the wall, saying crazy stuff. She's seen a lot of death. It's her remembering that she's actually evil and an ultimate despair. Fuyuhiko gets sick. Fuyuhiko goes the exact opposite route. Rather than being cold,
Telling everyone that they're stupid or bastards or whatever, he becomes a lover,
super romantic. He's only romantic to women.
especially one woman.
To this point, we discover Peko and Fuyuhiko have a relationship outside. Where Fuyuhiko actually just straight up in the chapters like, I love you, Peko. Let's get out of here together. Let's survive together. And then you realize that Peko maybe thinks it's not really how he really feels, or it's a disease doing it, when in reality it's just making him be truthful about being completely in love.
Weirdly enough, Chiaki will be the one to fill in Nagito's role with the extreme sickness, basically being close to death in Danganronpa 2.
Basically, Chiaki will be unable to kind of close her eyes. Her eyes are constantly glued open. She's having a hard time, can't really blink.
He can't sleep. He's getting more and more irritable.
Her heart rate speed is racing.
People are trying to take care of her and help her sleep as much as possible, becoming more erratic, having a negative attitude, having lines under her eyes. Basically, she becomes an emo gamer girl.
But she doesn't even want to play games. She's just so, moody and angry and anxious overall.
Who will be the killer in this chapter?
Our killer will be Nagito. It's Nagito. All right, Nagito kills. 2 people he kills. Nagito's gonna go crazy, huh? Nagito,
In response to Mikan going crazy,
to protect the group as a whole, Nagito acts like a hero and says,
Mikan, you're being hopeless and evil.
like in the base game, this is your true personality kind of thing. Basically kills her right there and then, right? He does. So I'll go and see who the other victim will be.
Teru is kind of seen as a weak and a spineless character. Weak, crying.
Nagito goes, visits the hospital where Mikan is, being a nurse and all, but also being kind of sick herself. She's in bed during the night. Nagito just snaps, right? Pillow to her face and suffocates her in her sleep. Just kills her right there and then.
One of the people who will be in the lobby will be Teru.
Hear an alarm go off. Rush down the hall to see what's going on. Wake up hearing a noise. That would be his biggest mistake.
Walks into the room to see her like that.
Rather than choking, like
How Mikan choked Ibuki to death.
choking with the chains of Nekomaru.
Or wraps used to bind up the sick people to restrain them from leaving the hospital. We go on to chapter 4. The killer will be Hiyoko Sayonji. Who does Hiyoko kill? In the original game, the main character, Hajime, was on his way to final dead room and he was stopped by Chiaki. In this instance, Hiyoko would be so at wit's end, just like Hajime, that she'd go there.
In hopes of escaping or getting food.
Getting some sort of weapon. Hiyoko's at her wit's end.
He has no gummies, and she doesn't handle the Monokuma Tai Chi very well. Chiaki's in the same kind of girl dorm thing, kind of sees her heading out, comes on and confronts her, right?
Hiyoko comes back with a spear, but accidentally whacks Chiaki with it, pushing her backwards, causing her to fall. Leaving, she's surprised. Falling, she hits her head on the stone statue of Sakura from the first game that says ogre. Chiaki dies on the spot. She'd realized that she just killed Chiaki in a panic just because she was seen coming out of the room, the final dead room. Last chapter, and then the mastermind.
A new protagonist will be, now that Hiyoko Sayonji has died, Sonya Nevermind, the princess, is our new protagonist. End of the last chapter after Hiyoko's death. We see Sonya and Gundam walking down the beach. The little hamsters around them with a squeak squeak, holding hands, kind of talking about how their hope to survive in their dreams, how long life together. And Sonya says, no matter how many friends we've lost along the way, I refuse to commit a killing. We will end this killing game together. One person dies, and that's Akane. This is the chapter where everyone's kind of divided for attention-wise. They're told that there's a traitor. They have a brand new motive. Maybe they're told that whoever commits murder can bring back anyone from the dead and leave, or can leave with anyone of their choice, the remaining cast. At that point, the whole dynamic changes. You have this whole group cast here. Hajime can pick whoever he wants. Kazuichi could pick whoever he wants. Peko doesn't never necessarily have to pick someone dead. Peko could go and leave with Fuyuhiko. Sonya could leave with Gundam. Akane has Nekomaru, who died. Nekomaru was giving her massages and taking care of her, training her, and she feels like she'll never be able to find anyone like him. So having this opportunity, he goes out there and commits murder, killing Kazuichi, which is one of the most squealy, noisy people around. She just straight up grabs him and then suplexes him or body slams him like WWE and choke him out using her strength overall, kind of crush him basically. We're the final five. Going through the simulation and going through the fake hopes academy, they gather evidence and information. It's a simulation that everybody's just brain dead. They're piecing it together. They're learning about the outside world, right? Basically to the trial, after a little bit, it's revealed that the mastermind, or they come to the realization the mastermind is none other than Fuyuhiko Kusaryu. So Fuyuhiko, with his despair disease, expressing his love and stuff, it's actually the opposite of his personality. He's actually always been a cruel, evil gangster Yakuza, right? And this is how they determine their successors worthy to join the Yakuza, right? So they force all of these ultimate people in, and basically think of this as almost like a training of a new bodyguard, maybe, or even to kind of as Peko's limits as a bodyguard, right? But he's basically the reason that his whole Yakuza organization, using the manpower and resources and tools they had, this island kind of taken over simulator, but also to spread despair. So along with that, obviously, he'd been corrupted by Junko. Junko AI comes out, and they go back and forth, basically. Eventually, they kind of share each other up, and they work together to escape. Hopefully, Fuyuhiko brought to the understanding that being influenced by Junko, I might have started this, but we'll end this together. I'll leave the whole real gangster lifestyle behind, and I'll go with my friends, and we'll escape. And then they go off on that little cruise that they do in the anime, right? The idea is that basically, they have to kind of convince Fuyuhiko to betray Junko AI that he'd set up. At this point, Peko's heartbroken overall. And then Hajime finally gets his chance to get together with Peko. And the actual game itself, he actually does like her a little bit when you do free time with it. So there you think she's really cool and they have a lot in common. So maybe Hajime swoops in there and Mr. Steal Your Girl takes Fuyuhiko's girl, or Fuyuhiko kind of has to redeem himself in Peko's eyes as she refuses to work. Well, she'll refuse to work for him now after knowing how horrible the organization, how what they're doing. Actually, this is their chance to escape and live on their own or be away from the influences of the family as a whole. So, thank you very much. This is our final five. Hajime Hinata somehow survives through yet another game. Gundam Tanaka, the ultimate breeder himself. Sonya Nevermind, the ultimate princess. Fuyuhiko Kusaryu, the ultimate gangster. Opeko Yama, the ultimate swordswoman. They all left and they all would wait for each other to wake up, just like in the actual base game itself. If you made it this far, consider becoming an ultimate today. It's as simple as subscribing.